Good evening, peace, love, and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Get This Wisdom Live. I am your host for this evening, Shakti Sterner, and we have a very special episode tonight. We are entitling it What's Going On in Westland Public Schools. We have one of the parents and one of the children that attend Westland Public Schools on with us tonight. We have Miss Tenika Jordan and her daughter, Destiny Thompson. And before I bring them on to speak, I'm going to give a brief disclaimer first. As you all know, all of my viewing audience knows for years, I do have small children. They are live on the premises. So you at one point may hear them talking, laughing, asking me a question. Don't let that deter you from tonight's message. And also, just to give an explanation of why we are going live tonight. There was a emergency occurrence that took place today out there in Westland at one of the public schools. And I'm sure once I bring mom on, she'll let us know the actual name of the school and things of that nature. But um, it was a very weird occurrence that took place that put a lot of children in a very scary place, a scary mindset. They experienced overwhelming feelings today. It involved one of the substitute teachers. It's just very disturbing what took place out there today. So we're gonna go ahead and bring Miss Tanika on now so she can, introduce herself, her daughter, and give us a little bit of what took place today. Miss Tanika, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome, awesome. Um, do you mind just briefly telling our viewing audience, your name and your daughter's name, and then going into what happened today and what is the name of the school that it took place?
No, I don't mind. Okay, my name is Tenika Jordan, and my daughter name is Destiny Thompson. She attends Stevenson's Middle School in Westland. Okay, today about noon, I got a frantic call from my daughter. She's in the sixth grade. I got a frantic call from her saying one of the teachers did something. Now she sounded afraid. So I knew it was something going on. So she ended up, she didn't want to say it out loud. So she went and got on another school phone. And then she called me and she started crying. She said a teacher, there, she was a substitute teacher for the music class. She had some oil. She didn't tell them what type of oil it was. She put it in a diffuser and she started putting oil on the children's wrists. So after she put it on their wrist, the children stated she made them put on some type of funny hats and they she made them do a dance. Now they didn't know what the dance was. Some of the children said they felt very weird, but they didn't say anything because they were afraid. They said the teacher was when she first came in, she was okay at first, and then she started getting mean and her eyes was red. So that scared a lot of children. Now, as the time goes on, after she put oil on the children, one child had ended up having a seizure. That was after she diffused the oil and put it on the children's wrist. One of the children ended up having a seizure, and that really scared the kids. So most of the children ran out of the classroom and ran in the office. And what happened with my daughter is she ended up seeing the teacher in the hallway, the same teacher, and she had a funny look which scared my daughter, and she touched my daughter's back. And my daughter said her hands were very greasy and she had something on her hands and she touched her back. So it when I got to the school, it was at least about 15 parents. Everybody was wondering what was going on and who gave the consent for oil to be put on our children. So that's basically what happened. I'm sure it's more to it, but this is what I know coming from the children that I met today.
Okay. And you said that there were about 15 other parents there, correct?
Correct.
And were you able to communicate with any of the parents on location?
Yes. I talked to a few parents. I talked to about 6 or 7 parents when I got there. And most of the parents, the same story that my daughter gave me is the same story the other children gave. Some of the children didn't even want to stop because the parents were in like the doorway of the office. Those children were very scared. They didn't even want to stop and tell what happened. They wanted to get out of there. So I knew it was something more than what the school was making it seem to be.
Indeed, indeed. And while you were communicating with the parents, can you just clarify for us if there was any mention, you said that there was no prior contact with you previous to this to let you know that the teacher was going to be participating in any uh, different dancing with the children, having them put on oils that was not communicated with you, right?
Yes, that's correct. We didn't get any consent, no prior contact, and the school did mention that, she doesn't have the right, no consent to put oil on children. So, and like I said, I wasn't contacted before. I wasn't contacted when it happened. My child had to call me.
Terrible, terrible, with no previous communication, no permission. The children's physical bodies were violated in that sense, and also their mental well being and emotional well being. So, and after you all communicated with the principal and the administrative staff, if you will, what did they say? What are the steps they are taking to address this situation and to provide some level of reprimanding to this teacher? Did they say anything about that?
They didn't say anything. They were very frustrated when we got there. The ladies in the office, they were frustrated. Basically, they were getting a lot of calls from parents wondering what is going on. And we wouldn't leave. And definitely me, I wouldn't leave until somebody came out and explained something to me and about what is going on here. And the lady came out the office. She said, we are trying to gather evidence and statements to what happened in the classroom. We are getting statements from each child. They wanted my child to write a statement also. So they're going to put some the statements together to figure out what went on in the classroom. They were basically trying to say, oh, it was just a diffuser and she put some oil in a diffuser. But I told the lady, I said, you guys failed to mention that she was putting oil on them. Like one of the little girls mentioned the oil that she put on her palm. She said, I washed my hands a few times. She said, I can't get the smell off of me. So that's what I was telling the staff in the office. Like, you guys are, you not, you need to explain what is going on. So they, lady ended up telling me like we are going to send an email out, which I have the email here, which doesn't really explain anything. Or the email says, dear parents, I want to update you about an incident in one of our classes today. We had multiple students who reacted to essential oils shared in the classroom, and we had to call EMS to assist one of those students. The essential oils has been removed from the classroom. So that's it. So they kept saying essential oil, but what I was confused is why is she putting it on these children? She put it on their wrists and was touching kids on their back with it, and even the children said it was very weird. She even had a weird look on her face.
And so they were very vague in their explanation of what took place and what steps they are taking to rectify the situation. I I personally, I'm a mother, as I said, and I empathize with you all and your children that had to experience that today. And one would think that the administrative staff would be a little bit more apologetic, given the fact that even if let's just play devil's advocate for a minute, even if the essential oils were just in said diffuser, there still was no prior communication with the parents or anyone to confirm if that was something that was safe health wise. Children have breathing problems, asthma, and things of that nature. So even being in the environment with the diffuser without prior consent is wrong, and compromising the health of innocent children. So we definitely want to extend our speedy thoughts and healing to you all. It's traumatic what took place today, and give up to a baby had to be rushed to the hospital, having a seizure. This is very big for children's health and their mental, their composure, their state of peace to be compromised in a place where they go to learn is very sad and disturbing. So, you made mention of your daughter making contact with the teacher at some point or other during this time. And could you explain to us what she's expressed to you, how she was feeling in that time? Um, was the teacher aggressive when she encountered her, or what did that look like for your child?
She stated she was drinking water at the water fountain. Now she had just met the teacher earlier because she was being her teacher's helper. Now she did go in the music room about 30 minutes before that, and she met the teacher. She and then she said she was walking in the hallway. Like 30 minutes later, she was walking in the hallway, and she stopped to get water. And she said that was the substitute music teacher. She seen her going in the room. She had keys. She was unlocking the door, and my daughter started to walk by, and she said the teacher said hi to her, and she said hi back. She said then the teacher rubbed her back. She said once she rubbed her back, my daughter said, "Well, I didn't think anything of it because sometimes teachers are nice like that." She said as but when she touched her back or rubbed her back, she started feeling weird, and she said she got sick. She said her stomach started hurting. She felt very weird. So she went to the office and told them what happened. I guess that's when she seen the other children too affected by that same teacher.
Okay, so we don't want to reveal the identity of the teacher at this current time, so because we don't want to compromise um any ongoing investigations that may take place. However, with what's being explained to you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, dealing with spirituality and things of that nature, what it appears to be was some type of ritualistic practice that took place in the school today that involved innocent children that the parents were not informed at all, and that's a very big problem that needs to be addressed. I've been looking at the mainstream news all day, and nobody has picked up this report. Nobody speaking on what happened. This is a very real occurrence that took place, and you would think that something like this will only happen in the movies. No, children were involved in some sort of ritualistic practice today at their school. Many of them ran out of the classroom terrified, crying, just overwhelmed. Like I said, the young child was rushed to the hospital with a seizure. This Miss Tanika's daughter was encountering this teacher in the hallway. The teacher's touching her. She's getting this eerie feeling over her. Um, and if I recall correctly, Miss Tanika, when we spoke earlier, you said that there were reports of the teacher's eyes turning red.
Yes, I got that statement from a few students. I got it from my daughter too. She said that when she called me that the teacher eyes was red. She had this. She just kept smiling. She had a very weird look, and I also got that statement from other students. The one of the little girls told me she was nice when she came in at first. Then she said she started making us. She put the oil on us, and she started making us do this dance. Then her eyes turned red, and she just got mean. That's what the children told me.
Wow, this is um, it's terrifying, to say the least. There have been reports all across the country, uh, as of lately, of very weird, very different circumstances and occurrences taking place. Like within the last 2 to 3 months, all over the country, there are very strange things taking place, very spiritual, but their spirituality can be light and dark. And some of these occurrences have been very, very dark. And you know, it bothers me that this is taking place today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, not prior history. This is something that happened today in these schools with the children. So, what are your fears moving forward? Are you afraid that the teacher will still be at the school? What are your fears as a mother now?
My fear is that I had, first of all, the email they sent out, it had no, details. It really didn't seem like it was they like a concerning email. Like they just made it seem like, oh, it was essential oils. So they said they removed the essential oils, but not the teacher. So this teacher really scared these children. She's a substitute teacher, but she don't. I feel like they're not going to do anything with her. I feel like she's still there. Like I said, the email only stated they removed the essential oils. So I feel like she's definitely still there, and that's what my daughter stated. She doesn't want to go back as long as that teacher is there. So I am going to raise, I am going up there tomorrow to raise concern because I feel like they're not really. At the end of the email, they said the children's safety is their first option. I feel like they're not considering the children
And
by getting rid of the teacher or she can't come, because honestly that's why they try to make it seem like the children were scared because the other child had a seizure, but like most of the kids said, it wasn't the child having a seizure, it was the teacher. It's just she can't, when she got in she turned, you know so that's my concern. Like, do I even want to send my children even back to that school? Because if you have people in there doing that, what else are you letting in your building?
very true. I think that, with your going up to the school again tomorrow to raise concerns is definitely something that needs to happen. As well as maybe you're getting a communication with the other parents that was there, so you all can, form that unison and bringing some more awareness to what happened today, because that person, that adult who violated young children, definitely needs to be held accountable, and uh, there may be some irreparable emotional duress that took place today. Like you said, your young child doesn't even want to go back. How many of those other children don't want to go back because they are afraid of what happens? You not just with that teacher, but with anybody else they may bring in. These children are no longer comfortable in their learning environment, which is terrible. A child shouldn't be made to feel that way. So that school and the whole school district needs to be held accountable for what they are allowing within their classrooms with innocent children. And if you don't mind, does your daughter feel comfortable with coming on to speak a little bit? If she doesn't, we are completely understanding of that.
Yes, she fine. She would love to speak. 1 second here.
Okay, thank you.
Hi,
Hi, good evening, Miss Destiny. How are you?
good.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for coming to speak with me. My name is Shakti. And we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what happened in school today, if you feel like sharing that with us, okay?
Okay.
So, um, was there a teacher there today that really made you feel scared at some point?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us what happened from that teacher, or what did that teacher do to make you feel scared?
She first gave me this look when I was passing her, and then she said hi, and I said hi back to her. And then I was kind of close to her, and I walked past, and she just touched my back, and I started to get this weird feeling.
Okay. And I'm sorry that happened to you. Um, were did you know what took place in a classroom before you ran into that teacher, or did you find out what happened after that?
I found out before and after.
Okay. So, did you know any of the little children that were in the classroom, or they were just, other children that attended school with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get a chance to see any of them come out of that classroom?
Yeah, I was in a group with four other girls that was involved and they were scared also.
Oh, wow. So this is very sad that these babies had to go through this. And how did what happened today make you feel?
It made me feel scared to go back to school. It made me feel like I wasn't comfortable where I was at and not comfortable with my teachers or anything or the teacher that did it.
Okay. And what would you like to see happen so you can feel comfortable going back to school again?
I want the teacher gone and don't come back.
Okay, and I think that your thoughts and feelings are very, very valid. Again, on behalf of everybody that's listening, all adults, we would like to apologize to you on behalf of that teacher because no child deserves to feel that way or go through that ever. Okay?
Okay.
And we just want to thank you so much for speaking with us. We know that it could be a little difficult to share when certain things happens or bad things happen to make us feel a certain type of way. So we want to thank you for your bravery and your courage. And we just want to tell you to listen to mom. Mom is going to help you feel better about this, and she's going to make sure that the school answers for what they let happen today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Destiny. We'll finish speaking with mom now. You have a good night.
Me too.
Hello.
Yeah, that really, thank you, firstly, thank you for allowing us to speak with her. That really just made me really emotional. And the baby spoke very well. So she knows what she saw today. She know what happened, how that made her feel. And I'm just I'm completely flabbergasted at this point. You know, we definitely need to be more active in what's going on. And I'm sure you as mom, just hearing your daughter speak right now, that had to be something for you, right?
Yeah,
And
it
is
definitely felt.
I'm so sorry that you all had to experience that. It's scary what our children have to face in these schools. It's very scary that we parents trust these teachers and these schooling infrastructures with our children. And one thing I want to address with you, ma'am, is I don't allow this situation to make you question whether it's your fault or not. You-
Right.
it's not your fault at all. You trusted the school like every other parent does. So if if you could share with our viewing audience, what we can do to help you and support you in this endeavor to bring more awareness in this. How can we help you with that?
I would love for, because this is something, first off, I've never even heard of happening in a school. I would like to alert more parents and, just of what is going on. Because like I said, this is my first time ever hearing this, happening. And just, the do's and don'ts of, not getting consent of having children do certain things in school. So once I go to the school tomorrow, I would definitely have more answers for that question. And you know, once I go and talk with the school, and because I'm not the only parent, I did hear other parents saying they need a meeting. It has to be a meeting for this. We're not just about to take an email and that be it. They want a meeting, and I definitely do too. So I would appreciate you guys just having my back and supporting me just, through this process of just bringing more awareness to the situation and also going to the school and having that meeting and the do's and don'ts on having consents for the children.
We definitely applaud you and your daughter and the other parents that are very concerned, because this is something that doesn't take place in schools often, if ever, especially here in the state of Michigan. We haven't heard of anything like this going on in DPS, Westland, any other schooling districts. We've had some things happen, but something of this nature, where a substitute teacher is coming into a classroom. She has some weird oil in a diffuser that the school is saying it's essential oils, but how can the school really know what type of oil was in the diffuser? They didn't call any specialists in. They didn't call any first responders, no police. I mean, the EMS was called at some point to to take the child, to transport the child who had the seizure to the hospital, but to thoroughly investigate what took place. None of that happened today. They sent out a very vague email to the parents telling them it was just essential oils. They have no facts, no evidence of that. The children stated being made to dance some type of dance, and wear some type of headpiece or a hat. um the lady went through a mood swing, a visible mood swing, where she was calm one minute and she completely, you know just turned into something else, eyes turning red, having all the children fearful. This is something that is definitely of a spiritual force, but it's not positive. So um, we would like to ask you, Miss Jordan, after you get with the parents and you all have your meeting, would it be possible for us to do a part two to this, so we can kind of get updates of what's going on?
Yes, that is totally fine. I want to keep everybody in the circle and aware of how this is handled, because like I said, they're making it just seem like, oh, it was an essential oil, but what really concerned me is what essential oil makes a child have a seizure. So that's what really concerning me, and they're not showing big awareness about that. So yes, I would definitely keep you guys updated.
Yeah, because just to piggyback off what you said, Queen, I'm well versed in essential oils, and I've used plenty of them. I've used them in the bath with my children, and there are certain essential, with all things, we're all different, so our bodies are different. Certain essential oils may have adverse reactions on people, but that doesn't happen to the extent of, I haven't heard of somebody having a seizure from one. I haven't heard of that personally at all. So definitely an investigation needs to take place. And we thank you, for jumping on with us. Short notice. We know that it's dinner time. Thank you for allowing Destiny to speak with us. We want to wrap our healing energy around you, Destiny, and the other children and parents involved, and just keep us updated on what's going on and how we can further spread the word for you and your family, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. And before we go, we just want to acknowledge in the comment section, we do have Cherie Reed L, Mama Cherie from Reed's Learning Street tuning in. She has stated ritual warfare, and showing her love with hearts and things of that nature. We just want to thank her as well for allowing us to share this story tonight. And we thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You all have a beautiful evening. Wrap your arms around your babies, because it's a lot of stuff going on right now, and we have to protect them. Again, this is Shakti Sterner from Get This Wisdom magazine and Get This Wisdom Live. You have a beautiful evening. Peace, love, and Black Power.